Hey everybody, I am Haley Gray and I am the founder of the WEN's Entrepreneur Network and I am super stoked. Give me a high five, give me a hello everybody. If you're joining us, give us a hello. Because we are doing this month's WEN Talk and this is going to be 6 amazing speakers being kicked off here with our dear friend, admin, Facebook group helper, welcoming committee, Tif Leoffler. And you know what's so exciting is just tell her hello, give her a hi, give her a welcome, give her some amazing support here, y'all. Tiff, I am so happy to have you here. And with that, I am going to give you the stage. Welcome, Tiff. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to have you here. And here you go. Here's the stage.
You are the best, Haley. Oh my gosh, I love being here. When Haley asked me to be here today, of course, I leapt at it. Any way to support Haley and Women's Entrepreneur Network, I am down for it. And I am so excited. So, hello, everybody. My name is Tif Leoffler. I am your positive intelligence coach. What is positive intelligence? I love this definition. The thoughts in our head can either be our best friend or our worst enemy. And I'm all about making friends. And how do you do that? Well, today I get to have the stage for a few minutes, and I had a talk all planned, and then something happened last night, and I decided I'm going to try something. So I want y'all to thank you for bearing with me and going on this journey, because I'm going to talk about stories. Yep, I'm going to talk about stories. And I even brought one of my favorite storybooks from when I was a little girl, and it's the story of Cinderella. And I brought that because, Cinderella, that she went on a hero's journey. I love talking about the hero's journey, the heroine's journey, and she had her ups and downs, and she kept faith, and she had this beautiful happily ever after. And I thought, okay, I'm going to look at the definition of a story stories are told for entertainment. There's your definition. We tell stories, whether they're made up, whether they're real, and we do that for entertainment. But I love the other definition that I found that said it's an account of past events in someone's life or in the evolution of something. And I thought, oh my God, I love that. And we're looking at a story. So I'm here to talk to you about your story. I'm here to just take a few minutes and talk about how it is so amazing that we do have a chance to create the stories in our lives. And why is it so often we go immediately to a horror story? And what do I mean by that? If we're going to try something new, if we're going to meet someone for the first time, I don't know about you, but sometimes, a lot of times, I have actually created the story in my mind before I even allowed it to happen. I knew exactly what that person was going to say. If I'm going to meet with someone to talk about a potential business collaboration, I probably already know that they're going to say no. Or I probably know that they're going to have some ideas that they don't know how this is going to work. I'm going to have to struggle through this. I mean, does that ever happen to you? I just want you to maybe take a moment and think, or if you're meeting someone for the first time, you get nervous, like, oh, are they gonna like me? Oh, they probably won't like me. What if I say the wrong things? Like, it's amazing how we create these stories ahead of time in our minds without giving us this possibility of what could be. And I think it's amazing when we have stories that are in our minds, and a lot of times it's what we don't want. And I'm here to say, as a positive intelligence coach, I get that. Our brains are wired for it. So I just want to let you know it's okay. I don't want you to think, oh, it happens. Our brain is wired for that feeling of, oh my gosh, something might be wrong. I better have that contingency in my head. I better have the scenario. I better figure this out. Because back in the day, we had a lot of very real, immediate, physical impediments to our lives, to living. And look at how lives have changed. Look at all the beautiful comforts we have. And isn't it crazy? It's like our brain's like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to start making stuff up because I still have to be on it. I better make sure that I have the story straight in my head. Whew. This is where I'm going to introduce you to a way of letting the stories go and just being open to the story of being in the moment. And it is my favorite way to not distract ourselves, but to redirect our thoughts. Believe it or not, you're in control of your story. You get to choose. Choose your own adventure. You get to choose the life that you want. And it is so hard to do that. I know when you've got all these thoughts running in your mind and you're so distracted, and then you want some other distractions like, oh my gosh, hello, the biggest distractor in the universe is our phone. We want to be on that 24/7. It's got great information. It connects us with people, but it can also get us caught in a story of distraction. And I want to give you this tool. It's called a PQ rep, and it's very simple. And this is all you do. When a thought pops in your head, and I could give you a couple, right now I could be saying, oh my gosh, I don't know if this presentation is good enough. I don't think I'm saying the right things. Maybe I'm talking too fast. Maybe I'm too animated. You can stop. You can take a pause, and you can say, all right, thought, I see you. You can have some fun with this too. When you have a thought that pops in your head going, and we call it the judge in positive intelligence, I don't think you're doing this right. You can say, oh, there you are. Oh, Judge, I'm so glad you showed up because I was expecting you. I knew you'd be here trying to tear me down when I'm in the middle of a presentation. You can have fun with it. Why not have some fun? So much out there that is beautiful and wonderful, and let's just have some fun. So you simply take thumb and fingertip, and you just lightly rub them together and close your eyes. Unless you're driving or walking, please keep your eyes open. Other than that, you just close your eyes, and you are very curious about being so thoughtful as you lightly touch these fingertips together. Wow, I can feel my own unique fingerprints. And in those few seconds, what did you just do? Now, I love, woo, I love having fun, but I'm also very analytical and I love learning about the brain. And here's what happened in your brain. You had a thought, and that thought could have either gone a negative route or a positive route. A lot of times our brain just happens to go negative because that's the way it's wired. It's okay. And we can train it. We can self-command. It's in our power. I love saying the power to change is at your fingertips. Are you ready? Yes, you are. Because what happened is I said to that thought, any thought of negativity, you know what? I'm not going to give you any power. I'm going to self-command. I'm taking my power back with my time, and I'm going to do this. Whew, and I'm also going to take a breath, and then you have now changed the direction from negative to positive. Your brain is now calm. It's collected. It's ready to receive a better message. How about the better message is, you know what? I'm doing my best here today. And I am so excited to be here and share with you and remind us all that we are here to shine our light. We are here to create connections and enjoy life, and to make sure that the time that we have, we're in the present moment, like just enjoying the now. And that's what I want to share with you today. And I'll just do my best. And you know what? We're all doing our best. And isn't that a much better message? That's so much more best friend than that worst enemy. And I'm going to challenge us here, and I'm going to say, who's running your business? Is your best friend running your business? The one who thinks you're the greatest ever, who knows you've got goods and services that people need right now, as you are right now? Or is it your worst enemy who's constantly badgering you, telling you you're not doing things right? You're never going to be enough. When you're at your business, well, you're supposed to be with your family, and with your family, why aren't you running your business? And your time is never your own. And who's going to pay at the end of the day when time slips away again? Is it your business? Is it your family? How about you? How about you and what you want? And I will tell you right now, when you have stressful thoughts, that affects your body. That hurts you. And your best friend never wants you to be hurt. Your best friend is cheering you on. You want those thoughts in your mind to be your best friend saying, gosh, I believe in you. In fact, I'm going to offer what I like to call a celestial service announcement, because we're all made of mostly water, and it's really important to stay hydrated. That's a best friend thing to say, like, oh my gosh, Tiff, take a sip of water right now. And in just doing that, I'm hydrating my body. I'm doing something wonderful for myself. I just want, if there was something that I could share that I feel is just so important. We have to take care with the thoughts in our mind, because when they're your worst enemy, that stress is hurting you in all areas of your life, inside and out. It's hurting your body. It's hurting your environment. It's hurting your relationships. It's hurting your business. All of it. So again, I'm going to give you that real quick PQ rep and a couple alternates. Let's say that you're in a meeting and you don't have to be holding it up and showing everybody. See, I'm doing it right now. Or you can't see because I lowered my hand. But let's say you're in a meeting. Let's say you're on the phone with someone and something triggers you. It happens. Instead of immediately going to that negative thought, just take a moment and just tell your mind, hey, I see what you're trying to do. I got you. I'm not paying attention. I'm not giving you that power. I'm taking my power back. And maybe it's kind of an intense situation. You just a little more. Well, you can also do this. Take your fingers and rub them up and down the palm of your hand. And you're not really thinking, okay? This is just being curious about what's happening in the moment with your hand. Giving your brain a chance to reset, reboot, relax. And even for there are some people that this is maybe a little too much, a little sensitive. That's okay. I got you. We can take that great distractor and turn it into redirection. We can do the same thing with our phone. Notice the color, notice the temperature. No deep thoughts, just for a moment. This isn't taking a long time. The benefits are incredible, and you're so worth it. And how does that tie into our story? How many times a day are we caught in a story that just flies into our head and we run on default, not design? And that's what I wanted to share with you about stories today. And I have a few more minutes, and I wanted to offer, because I love when that definition about a story talked about the evolution of something. And this was in 2021. I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Tif, and she was new to Facebook. She had a Facebook account, but she really wasn't involved in Facebook. But then, wow, something happened in 2020, and we all had to reconnect in different ways. And in 2021, she saw a group called Women's Entrepreneur Network. Oh my gosh, it looked really exciting. There's so many people in there. And she thought, okay, I'm going to join. And she wasn't used to joining these groups. And she read the admin, these are the rules. And they were great rules. It's just, in her story, she created a story of, oh my gosh, I will never be able to comment or post or like. I can't make a mistake. They'll kick me out of the group. Because there are stories that are ancestral too. And one of our big worries is that we're not going to be accepted. We're not going to be in a group. We'll be kicked out of a group. And when you're kicked out of a group, way back when, what did that mean? Death. It does not mean death anymore. If you're kicked out of a group in Facebook for some reason, please don't try to do that. But so I had the story in my head. Oh, I can't. I'm just going to be on the sidelines. And yet I had another story in my head that, wow, I would really like to connect. And I mean this, I would love to connect with Haley Gray. Oh my God, the head of this. That would be so cool. Maybe I could reach out to her sometime. So there's competing stories. Oh, no way I can, then I can. And I'm here to say, if we let stories in our mind keep us from taking action, we can dream big dreams. We can imagine in our head that story, but if we're not here in the 3D physical world taking action, however imperfect, things can't happen. Well, unbeknownst to me, I was taking a lot of imperfect actions that led me to joining a particular business, that led me to talk with one of the heads of that business, who led me to another networking place called CIBN. And it was in that networking place that I met Carrie George, who was the head of CIBN, and talked with her and developed a relationship. And there's a point to this connecting me back to Haley, which again, kind of blows my mind. So now it's 2022. I've met Carrie, and she invited me to another meeting, and all of a sudden there's Haley Gray. And I'm just like, is that Haley Gray? I think that's the Haley Gray of Women's Entrepreneur Network. And honestly, I get a little lump in my throat because I'm like, oh my God, I was so excited. I'm not really I mean, I think it's fun for celebrities and singers and, pop stars, but my heroes are the ones that are out there making lives better for people who in a different way. Like, it's not, I think it's, I'm not into the celebrity worship, but I certainly do love to be around people who are worthy of admiration and inspiration and action. And guess what? I got to have a one-on-one private consult with Haley Gray. It was awesome. And it was also a kick in the pants. Because sometimes in our stories, we have it, we want it to be perfect, and we try to have that false positivity. I'm a positive intelligence coach, but I also know that there are times where, hey, we're in trouble, whether in our business, our relationships, and our families, and you need someone to talk to, and you need someone to say, hey, you have told me this. I am now sharing that with you. I'm holding up the mirror. That's what Haley did for me with my business. And she told me some things that were hard to hear, but that I needed to hear. And I was able to create a different story in my mind. It started like, oh, I'm doing some things not right. I need to do some other things. And as best I can say, the point of how that all came about was, as we go around and we live our lives and we're creating our stories, if we stay open to possibilities and we're okay with making mistakes and failing, because failing isn't the opposite of success, it's a part of success. One of the things I've learned from Haley. And now I'm very fortunate to develop a relationship with both Haley and with Carrie. And they're combining forces, ultimate collaboration. I am so excited. They're creating a new weekly networking event, and they asked me to be their host. And if you had said that was going to be part of my story way back when I first signed up for that Facebook group in 2021, I would have said, oh, you got to be kidding me. Absolutely not. And isn't that sad? Just in my last moment here, just to say, have you ever had this beautiful dream, and someone says, hey, you could have this, you could do this. In your mind, you're thinking, I'd like to try this. And maybe there's just that one person, that one post, one comment, and you feel destroyed. You feel like it's never going to happen. Can't happen. Oh, why do we tell ourselves those stories? I'm just here to say, just because we do. But there's always a chance every moment of every day to change that. And it just starts with just telling yourself, you know what? I'm not going to be thinking that thought. I'm tired of that worst enemy. I am my own best friend, and I get to choose the thoughts. And the thoughts that I choose create the stories in my life, and it's the story that I want. And so as I wrap up this time with you, I just wanted to say thank you. Like, it's okay to have a Cinderella story where you're wondering, is it ever going to happen? And then something happens, and it's okay to have those doubts and frustrations and fears, but just to know that you deserve to be supported and supplied. I have a coach friend, her name's Beth. I love that she said that to me. And I want to make sure that you are supported and supplied. So I'll get my information out there. If you're feeling, oh my gosh, I have these dreams, but I also have these thoughts in my mind that, they're just always so negative. I get that. But I want you to take your time back. The time that you're spending in those thoughts, let's get you that story that you want. And here's what I'm going to end with. As long as we know and we have the power to understand that our life is built up on stories, then choose the story that you want. You make it the best story. I want you to not only imagine it, but I want you to feel into it, and I want you to take action on it. And in doing that, your world opens up. And yes, we have our ups and downs. And yet, isn't it the best when you hear a story that says, and they lived happily ever after? That's what we want. We get to have our happily ever after right now. We get to have it today. We get to start today. Like, how's my happily ever after today? How am I feeling about myself? Am I treating myself well? Am I hydrating? Am I moving, exercising, and grooving? Because we want to keep our body strong. Am I thinking the best thoughts? Am I making the best connections? Am I reaching out to people when I need help? And I will tell you right now, cannot have too much support. I'm here to support you. I am Tif Leoffler, your positive intelligence coach. I so appreciate you letting me be here today just to talk a little bit about story. Haley, I so appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you too. And wow, y'all, you need to get to know Tiff a little bit better. She is such an inspiration and such an amazing, amazing coach and person. And yeah, how does somebody get in touch with you?
You know that, and I love that you asked that. Thank you. I am going to try to quickly get this in the chat. We'll see how this.
And then we will get that posted and shared. And thank you, Tiff, so much for doing this.
I got it in there. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Have an awesome day.
Thank you so much. And with that, by the power of the magic of